I think it's safe to say that gaming has sort of been the same for the past decade or so, with large-scale innovation being few and far between. So with that being said, let's look at the future of gaming and what we can expect. First of all, let's discuss making money with gaming. See, for years, the older generation has never understood how is it possible to make money from gaming. But I think in recent decades it's been proven that making money from gaming is not just possible, but it's very lucrative. With platforms such as YouTube and Twitch providing revenue streams for various creators in various forms. Not even mentioning the esports scene and how big that is. But there's always been hurdles for average to casual players. Things like skill level and the amount of hours you have to put in the game to actually get rewarded for that time. But regardless, there's always been all sorts of ways to make money from gaming. But one method that has had the most resistance out of all of these ways is blockchain technology. Now wait, before you click off the vid, let's discuss this. Let's make sense out of this. Blockchain technology by itself is not a terrible idea. In fact, it might be one of the only possible fair solutions to provide people with income while playing video games. But obviously right now the technology isn't there yet, and it still has a lot of exploits that can leave people bankrupt if they are not careful. But I do think that blockchain technology will get easier to implement in the future. It's just not there yet right now. Hell, it might not even be anytime soon. Maybe in the next 5 to 10 years, players will earn some in-game rewards that can be used to get real-world money. I mean, it's a dream for a lot of people to make money from playing video games. And I think the person who solves this problem will be very rich in the future. But obviously, where there's money to be made, there's greed. So some people will try to exploit whatever the system will be, and then it will get patched, and then the cycle will repeat until we get an acceptable solution. I don't think we'll ever find a solution that makes everyone happy, but at least we can try. Another reason I don't think it will happen anytime soon is I think they'll try to add it to single player games, but I don't think it will work because video games are a form of escapism, and adding real world assets will break the illusion. Speaking of illusions, let's talk about VR. VR, also known as virtual reality. Now, VR is still very expensive, but the technology is improving. Like for example, I still think the headset is too big, but Apple almost cracked it with the Vision Pro. It seemed to be the next big thing for a while, but the hype died down. But if you really think about it, we are only in Gen 3. By Gen 5, I think it will be mainstream. Maybe it will be as convenient as wearing a hat, or those cool looking glasses from the early 2000s. Or maybe we will get non-invasive neural interfaces that can make us play games with our minds. Another thing is AI technology in gaming, and how it will affect not only the development of games, but the gaming experiences. Will AI make games more difficult because NPCs become too smart for a player? Will the AI go rogue in specific copies of a game and become sentient? If so, what's the protocol? Will you even know what to do? Can you even do anything if you try? What if you become attached to an NPC that the game decides needs to be killed? Will the grief be real? These are just a few questions to chew on. But yeah, next I want to talk about how games will even be played. With consoles becoming so expensive and PCs also being very expensive, mobile is becoming a legitimate competitor, and with Xbox releasing Forza on PS5, it's safe to say that the console wars are over. And PS5 has clearly won. But hey, can't forget about Nintendo. They're still going strong, with no signs of slowing down soon with the recent Switch 2 reveal. But yeah, that's also another video on its own. But yeah, still weird to think of gaming without console. This topic alone needs its own video, and I will make it in the near future. But to think that console gaming might be a relic of the past, just like vinyls. Then we have to discuss cloud gaming services. How does it affect game ownership? Do you even need to own games anymore? How does this affect developers? How will studios make profit? Will the way people connect to games change? If games are so disposable, how will you have a favorite game? Yeah, sure, it might be good for consumers in the short run, but in the long run, games need to adapt to make money. How will cloud services impact game design itself? I mean, I could go on and on with the questions, but this is the future and we cannot stop it. How about AR? This could actually be way better than VR in my opinion. Just look at what happened with Pokémon Go. People were out in the streets, having fun, interacting with friends, all sharing in a virtual experience. What if you could use that technology for something like, let's say, fitness? What if developers put like in-game rewards for doing real life fitness? Like you get a XP boost or something. I don't know, something like you do 10 push-ups, you get 10 in-game coins or whatever currency the game offers. Maybe some of y'all don't have any interest in it. That's completely fine, just don't play it. Maybe go into an actual doctor, gamifying your health in some sort of way, like you get those stats on the screen from some glasses and you can, I don't know, you can have it like some sort of survival game where you can see the status of your health in real time or something like that, like an enhanced version of a fitness watch or something. And lastly, I want to talk about how games are actually made. You can't say for the past decade or so, the price of producing a game has gone significantly upwards, and in the long run, it's not sustainable. So how will games be made in the future? I think that technology will become more accessible due to the use of AI. Maybe you can type in a prompt and the AI will create something for you. Let's say maybe you are a skilled artist but a terrible storyteller. Maybe you can use AI to assist you in storytelling, getting the right beats, just generally making sure the story makes sense. Or maybe you are a talented storyteller and you are a terrible artist. You can do the opposite, where you can use the AI to make your vision come to life in the form of visual imagery. Maybe Unreal Engine 6 or something will come embedded with these tools that will be more easier to use than ever, allowing anyone with a love for video games to actually make something cool. And of course, there are people against this, but AI is already here. There's nothing you can do about it. You need to adapt right now. I'm not saying it's gonna replace artists completely, but it will replace artists who refuse to use AI as an assistant or as a tool to make better art. You can disagree with me, it's fine. That's your opinion. But I personally think that AI is like Netflix in the early 2000s, and all the AI deniers are Blockbuster. You cannot uncook the noodles. It's already cooked. Anyway, those are just a few of my thoughts on the future of gaming. If you have any other opinions or different ideas on how the future of gaming is gonna look like, please don't be shy to comment below, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.